With the clock ticking, the question on everyone's mind is what, if anything, will happen when the Mayan calendar expires.
Nobody really knows. People say that it's going to be a moment of enlightenment, that this planet will undergo just a tremendous change, a great metamorphosis, and we'll all be happy again. Or it could be a calamity. Nobody knows until December 21st, 2012.
Theories about what could happen are divided into two basic camps. There are those who believe the Maya predicted the dawning of a new age.
In a nutshell, 2012 is about transformation and renewal.
And then there are those who believe the Mayans did in fact foresee a doomsday.
The clock is ticking. The Mayans have told us there's a clock, and time is running out.
Some of these doomsday believers say the Maya aren't the only ones who tell us time is running out.
In the Mayan prophecy, we get a specific year, but in the greater sense, there's many, many ancient prophecies that speak about a time of great upheaval in the earth.
Over the centuries, writers such as the ancient Greek oracle Sibyl of Cumaea and Nostradamus penned mysterious verses that some say prophesize a cataclysm around the year 2012. But these ancient prophecies are written so cryptically, their meaning is up for debate. The Bible's book of Revelation, however, speaks very clearly about the end of times.
A lot of people see the book of Revelation as just this, doomsday scenario. It's just all-out cataclysm and obliteration. There is a lot of that in the book of Revelation. There's no doubt about that. But the book of Revelation is a book, ultimately, of hope.
Despite its apocalyptic tone,
the earth will be completely laid waste.
Many Bible scholars, such as Mark Hitchcock, say there's no connection between Revelation and any 2012 doomsday prophecy. But some point to the Bible beyond Revelation and the New Testament for insight into 2012. They believe that the Old Testament is encoded with prophecies, a phenomenon known as the Bible Code.
The Bible Code was built on the first 5 books of the Bible and finding unusual mathematical symmetries in that text.
Michael Drosnin, author of the Bible Code, applied the same statistical analysis developed by Israeli mathematicians and found the numbers 2012 near the phrase Earth annihilated.
2012 only comes up once in all of the Bible Code. And it says a very frightening statement that says it is the end and that something is destroying the earth.
For 2012 believers, it is yet another revealing piece of evidence that something drastic will happen. But some biblical scholars caution against reading too much into it.
Michael Drosnin, who wrote the Bible Code, made predictions about things that were supposed to happen in 2006 that didn't happen. So why should we believe what he says about 2012?
Back in Central America, Richard C. Hoagland is feeling the pressure to solve the mystery of what the Maya intended with their 2012 date. But not by trying to interpret ancient texts.
To separate the mythology, to separate the legend, the lore, from science, you have to do measurements. I'm looking at the physics behind the mythology.
According to Hoagland's theory, so-called sacred spots on Earth, such as Giza and Tikal, were designed to convey the message that cataclysms occur in cycles, and that we're due for another disaster around the year 2012. He believes the danger stems from something called hyperdimensional or torsion field physics.
The torsion field is the flow of time. It's the background ether structure of reality, of three-dimensional reality. It's a tremor in the force.
The theory is complex and difficult to explain. Further complicating matters, mainstream scientists consider torsion fields and hyperdimensional physics to be pseudoscience.
I see no evidence of real scientists, physicists studying hyperdimensional physics at all.
But Hoagland is convinced his theories are valid, and that unless we figure out how to control it, torsion field physics could annihilate life on Earth.
That's the real concern, that this physics is such that one moment everything will be fine, and the next minute all catastrophe could occur.
Torsion fields are said to be created by rotating bodies, like Earth.
If you have a planet or a star or any massive object and you rotate it, the torsion field inside that object takes on this tetrahedral lattice form.
Hoagland says these tetrahedron-shaped energy waves exist within every object in our solar system. According to Hoagland, torsion field energy is concentrated where the tips of this double tetrahedron touch the planet's surface at 19.5 degrees north and south latitude.
That's why the Hawaiian Islands and Hawaii itself, Mauna Loa, Mauna Kea, are so high. We see this same interior tetrahedral physics in operation in the Sun, in Mercury, in Venus, on Mars, Jupiter, on Saturn.
But what exactly does all this have to do with 2012? Hoagland says the Earth and its torsion fields have become out of balance, and that the natural process of restabilizing could wipe out civilization.
In an effort to reach a new equilibrium, to where it's happy with those vibrations, the Earth will reorient. It has to reorient. It absolutely must reorient. The problem is when it does that, the effects on the surface of the world, mountains, oceans, atmosphere, people, seas, trees, cities, everything, is overwhelmingly catastrophic.
It's a worst-case scenario that Hollywood has brought to the big screen in an epic titled 2012. Waves crashing over mountains, earth-shattering quakes, and supervolcanic eruptions. The movie is based on one of the more extreme theories, a polar flip. But could Hollywood's apocalyptic vision be so far off? Hoagland doesn't think so, and he believes torsion fields may be to blame. But to prove this, he must first find evidence that torsion fields exist. Hoagland has devised an experiment which he says can measure changes in mass and inertia, something conventional physics says cannot happen. It's a difficult theory to follow, but Hoagland says the data collected here at Tikal could show that mass and inertia can change, and that torsion fields are real. And if torsion fields are real, Hoagland says so is the chance of a cataclysm in 2012.
What I'm doing is assembling our field equipment to test torsion field physics. Laptop for recording the data, crystal reference for providing an accurate time standard, and this is the magic part. This is a 1965 Bulova Accutron watch. The operative element is a little tuning fork in here. You can see it in between the copper wires. That vibrates back and forth at a nominal 360 hertz, 360 cycles per second. Except it doesn't. As the torsion field changes, the torsion field affects the Accutron tuning fork, so the tuning fork either increases or decreases in mass or inertia. And if you have something with a decreased mass, it will vibrate faster. Increased mass, it will vibrate slower. So we're basically using the Accutron to measure the changes in inertia and mass around these extraordinary temples.
Once Hoagland collects the data, he will analyze it using a specially designed computer program and compare it to readings taken elsewhere.
And right now I'm going to go up the top of this pyramid and measure from the base all the way up these stairs, many, many stairs, to the top, and see what happens.